Good morning. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Shamaria Massenburg.
And this is Good Morning KU. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, we are really close to Friday. So, how have you been doing this week? What have you been watching?
It's been a stressful week, but Netflix has been keeping me calm, and I've been seeing trailers of a new show by David Letterman and a lot of interviews with some famous celebs.
Oh, yes. We've got on David Letterman's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, Kim Kardashian, Dave Chappelle, Robert Downey Jr., just to name a few household names. But I tuned into the Kim Kardashian episode, and it was really fascinating. There was a viral moment of her breaking down crying when talking about the 2016 Paris robbery. There were also some other great takeaways. She touched on prison reform and her involvement with that. She talked about going to the White House and how her family and friends advised her to not go with the current administration. And Kanye West giving her styling tips, just so much to just really digest, and just gave me a whole new perspective on Kim Kardashian. What are your thoughts?
You know, a lot of resurfaced clips got thrown around on Instagram and Twitter, and I was just amazed at the fact that people were actually, threatening her for her going to the White House. And I know for some it can be hard to see where she was coming with that, but whether you're a fan of Kim Kardashian or not, we can't ignore what she's done for prison reform and the numbers that of black people that she's gotten out of prison.
Yeah. So my next question is, I feel like we're living in an age of reality TV stars having a big influence in politics. For example, Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian. So how do you feel about her husband, Kanye West, a few years ago endorsing Donald Trump, and then now claiming that he's going to be running for president, which obviously he's only on the ballot in certain states, and some people argue that a vote for Kanye is essentially a vote for Trump. How do you feel about that?
I'm not going to lie, it's a bit contradictory in my opinion that, Kim's going out and doing all the legwork to, get black people who are wrongfully imprisoned out of prison and, undoing all the wrongings of the past, and then Kanye's going out on his own personal vendetta and telling people to write his name in, which essentially I feel like would be a vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that Kim and Kanye are doing their best to represent the black community in terms of their efforts with prison reform and politics, or do you kind of feel like they don't represent the values of...
I think Kim is trying her best to, seeing as though her children are black, and I think a lot of people forget that, so I don't think this is in any way a publicity stunt. I think she truly cares for the black community. As far as Kanye, I'm not sure he quite knows how to. As you can remember, a few years back, he stated that slavery was a choice, and it's just a lot of comments that Kanye makes that I can't completely agree with.
Yeah, it's funny because this argument of can you separate the artist from their creative work, and I personally think I can do that, but I still struggle with fully supporting Kanye. I love his music, I love his fashion, I love what he stands for in that aspect, but then things get a little murky when he makes comments like that, because I don't think black people would have decided to leave Africa and just go work for free.
I completely agree, and I've done my best to separate, the artists from their personal beliefs and comments, and I think that's really all we can do with Kanye, because even his celebrity friends have made comments on it and don't really support him in his whole political career, so.
Yeah, well, thanks, Shamaria. Speaking of celebrity friends, we are going to switch gears and talk about Donald Trump and Vice President Biden. Let's take a look at my package. We are 13 days away from election night. Here's everything you need to know about tomorrow's debate. The amount of interruption that took place between President Trump and Vice President Biden during the first debate, new guidelines are being set in place for the 22nd. Muted microphones? Yep, that's correct. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to speak with 0 interruption from the opposing candidate. After the 2 minutes is up, the moderator will allow the candidates to create conversation. The topics will be broken down into 6 segments: COVID-19, racism, American families, climate change, national security, and my personal favorite, leading the country. Let's take a look and see how the candidates are trailing along in the polls. As you can see, in the general election, Biden is trailing the lead by about 8.7 percentage points. However, the Kansas polls are showing Trump is ahead by 8.6 percentage points. Mail-in ballots are showing a higher turnout rate amongst Democratic voters. This will be Trump's final chance to gain some footing ahead of Biden. Tomorrow's debate will be moderated by Kirsten Welker of NBC News. The election will begin at 9 p.m. Eastern at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. If you haven't voted yet, please, please, please get out there and vote. This election is so important. This is Nicole with KUJH Entertainment. Once again, everyone, it is so important to get out this year and exercise your civic duty. So please get out there and go vote. I know I'm going to be voting whatever side you're on, red, blue, or indifferent. Just get out there and exercise your vote.
As most of y'all know, the debate is tonight at 9. Please make sure you tune in. And as Jordan said, your vote matters and your vote counts.
Yes, and one final tip for all KU students: the bus is going to be giving free bus rides on November 3rd. So if you are a student that's lacking a car, worried about money, how to get around to the polls, November 3rd, KU's bus fare has you in mind. Have a good morning, everyone.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near: victory.
Welcome back. Today we are joined by a very special guest, my quarterback in high school and now quarterback at Central College, Kyle Long. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to be here.
So Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at now, what's your major, what you're involved in.
Yeah. So my name's Kyle. I go to Central College, majoring in business with a minor in entrepreneurship, and then I also play football here.
So at KU, we have COVID regulations here where we have a mask mandate that we have to wear a mask everywhere. We have randomized testing, and then we have a dorm for kids that test positive for COVID. What is the standard at Central College?
Well, Central is actually very similar. So inside the dorms, masks are worn at all times. For the first couple weeks, we weren't allowed to have any guests in the room, but now we're allowed to have up to 4. And around campus, we're supposed to be wearing a mask unless you're walking around outside. Then there's just the 6-foot rule. In classrooms, we have to have masks on at all times. So yeah.
So what have your numbers been like at Central? Are they high? Are they low? Somewhere in the middle?
They've been extremely low. We've done a really great job of, if someone does get COVID, they get quarantined immediately, or if they've been exposed. So we also have a dorm for kids that do get exposed where they go. So yeah.
Gotcha. So you had mentioned classes, wearing a mask at classes. Are you all in person, or do you have some online and hybrid classes?
Yeah, we're actually all in person right now. The most staff thought that would change after a bit, but we've done a really great job of keeping those numbers down. So yeah, all of our classes are in person right now.
So you had mentioned you were on the football team. Your season was moved to the spring, as far as I know. What was your reaction to your season being moved?
Well, it started in the summer when camp kept getting pushed back and back. So, that was kind of a bummer. And then coach was telling us that was a possibility. It was just weird thinking how football wouldn't be in the fall. And then I was just happy that I heard we get to practice still. So we've still been practicing 3 days a week. Still get to work on the same stuff. But yeah, it was definitely a bummer, but we've all adapted really well. And we're still excited that we get to play in the spring.
Yeah, so you had mentioned you get to practice 3 times a week. On top of that, what is your team doing to adjust to the season being an entirely different time of the year?
Well, we don't get to practice for near as long just because we have to split up into 3 groups now because there's limits of how many people can be on the field at once just with COVID regulations. So just trying to, change the practice schedule, and now we have to be on Zoom for all of our meetings and whatnot. So there's just a lot to change and adapt to, but we're doing our best.
Gotcha. And so what are you personally doing with the team to make sure that you stay safe and then that your teammates stay safe as well?
Well, we talked about as a team how, we don't go off campus on the weekends. And as much as we'd like to go home, go home and watch home football games and see our families, sometimes that's just not a possibility. And then, of course, just being responsible on campus and wearing your mask and doing all the right things so we get to play in the spring. That's our main priority.
Gotcha. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go to a short break, and then we will be back with the news.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Thanks, Blake.
Yes, sir.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back. I'm Anna.
And I'm Kennedy. This is your Thursday Good Morning KU News Update.
Douglas County health officials have confirmed 13 new cases of COVID-19 since Tuesday, bringing the county's total to nearly 3,000 cases since the beginning of the pandemic. 2 related deaths have also been confirmed, raising the total to 17.
One notable change viewers can expect in tonight's third and final presidential debate is the silencing of each candidate's microphone while the other speaks. The Commission on Presidential Debates hopes such adjustment will help limit the number of interruptions, which were prevalent in the first debate. Be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to watch.
The Senate Judiciary Committee has officially approved Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. A full Senate vote is scheduled to take place Monday. Democrats, on the other hand, have chosen to boycott the hearing and hold an impromptu press conference in a long-shot effort to prevent the nomination from going through. After coming off a close win over the Buffalo Bills last Monday, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and fiancée Brittany Matthews took to social media to share some exciting news in a creative way. By incorporating their fur babies in the experience, the couple discovered they are expecting a baby girl.
The highly anticipated Kansas volleyball 2-match series at TCU has been postponed, as well as TCU's home matches against Texas, originally scheduled for October 30th through 31st. Big 12 conference officials will work with institutions to reschedule both matches later in the season, but for now the Jayhawks' next scheduled match will be against Kansas State, and it will air on ESPN Thursday, October 29th at 6:30 p.m. and Friday, October 30th, also at 6:30 p.m. in the Horsch Family Volleyball Arena.
That will wrap it up for today's news update in our show. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.